2, 3, 4, 5, because these things don't start recording until sometime into it. Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Alrighty, you already know what time it is. So, although I am 5 days late, because it is currently Sunday AM, 4:30 or something, the Walking Dead game is over. It's gone. Well, it's not gone. It's done. Done deal. Finished. And, clearly, I believe all my lads know how I feel about this game. And now it's over as soon as it started. What is it? I started playing in September 2018. Fast forward, hold on, I have to do the math. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So fast forward half a year basically, and we're done. And for some other people, 7 years. For me, half a year. Don't think my feelings mean any less. Trust me, if you think that I was feeling some type of way, imagine the developers themselves, the voice cast, the fans that have been people who grew up with these characters. Oh man, imagine how it is for them. It's over. And I'm so glad that it's over. You have to understand, dude, what is it? I bought the final season when they said it was canceled. Oh, I remember when they said it was canceled. I had just finished season 3. I finished it in one sitting, and I think 2 of my friends maybe were there with me. Finished it in one sitting, over one night. Finished the entire game, and then the next day, no, the news came out while I was playing it, but I only read on it the next day that Telltale shutting down. Boom. Episode 2 of the final season will come out, but from there we don't know. Dude, I didn't really feel anything the day of, but then I think maybe later that day or the next day, oh god, I wept like a baby, dude. I felt like it was all my fault. I thought that we weren't gonna see the end to this, but I still bought the last season. I still gave them my money because I had faith. And oh boy, prayers were answered. Yo, Skybound are some heroes. So yes, it is over. I'm glad that it is. I'm glad that it saw an ending. I'm glad that it is. Well, it's called the final season. However, it could just be the final season to Clementine's story. Many people want a 5th season. I don't know what's wrong with those people. No, it's over. 7 years. She made it. It's over. I don't want another game. No. Do not kill franchises by oversaturating them with nonsense. Don't turn them into Mass Effect. You dig? Don't turn them into Fallout. You dig? Don't turn them into Elder Scrolls. You dig? It ended at the perfect position. Excuse me. I'm so glad. Oh my god, when I finished playing that last episode, I felt like I lost weight. And if it isn't obvious already, that's not something I am very familiar with. Wow. So happy. So happy. Not much I have really to say here that I haven't already said 1,000 times. Lists. Yes. Everyone likes top 10 lists for some reason, right? Top whatever lists of opinions. Put whatever you want to hear me talk about the game. Put whatever you'd like to hear me rank about the games. I've been up for a while. In the comments, please. Otherwise, I'm just gonna shoot them out at random. Characters, credit songs, the games themselves, antagonists, protagonists, the 3 we've had. I'll suggest it, and I'll make a video about it, ranking it. Yeah, it's good. Now I feel like I can play them whenever I want. Before, I said already that those aren't games that I think I would play whenever. Some other people might have the power to do that. I can't. Oh my god, no. First of all, those games are too long, okay? They span around 6 to 8 hours. That in and of itself is crazy. All four of them. And two, it's not. I don't know. I just really don't know how you could regularly play that, even for your own personal reasons. Well, obviously, they'd be for your own personal reasons. I don't know how people would be able to do that, but now I have all of them right there, right in front of me. Whenever I want, you could always come back. Maybe for a weekend, you could play the entire series again. You know, relive it all. Man, what a great series, man. Admittedly, the final episode, it was clear that it was rushed to an extent. It could have been much better, but there's nothing I would want changed. I'm not good with ideas. I'm not good at directing things. I'm just good at barking orders at people, okay? I'm very loudmouth when I need to be, and I'd say I'm mean enough to where people listen to me at times. Other than that, in terms of actual creative ideas, believe it or not, I'm not. I don't have much faith in my head in terms of that avenue. But that's all I really have to say on that. Yeah, it's over. I'm not sad as if you see how I try to avoid the words like so much now. It can be a pain, but if it improves vocabulary and makes me sound better, then hell, I'll do it. I'm not feeling as if oh, I have nothing to look forward to anymore. No. It the way it happened for me, with the way I experienced everything so fast, in comparison to other people that waited years for this to happen, I feel like the way it happened to me was perfect. I'm not a person who can stick to something. I've never finished watching. I've never committed to finishing anything that spans on for multiple things. I don't really know how to word it right now. Like I said, I'm tired. But I've never finished a cartoon before. I have a very hard time. I'm watching very long series of movies, chains of movies, sequels, prequels, oh god, all that nonsense. I think the only one I can think of that I know for a fact I've watched all of. In fact, no, I'm lying. I haven't even watched all of them. Is the Friday the 13th series. I haven't watched 1. I haven't finished 9, and I haven't even finished X10. But all the other ones I know for a fact I've seen. I can't finish TV shows in a game like this. 4 games over 7 years. That doesn't sound like a lot because it really isn't, but wow, that'd be too much for me. Kidding me? I'm trying to think of game series that I was a fan of that I actually stuck to the end. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Dark Souls. That's it. I didn't stick with the Call of Duty games. I joined them late. I joined them when Black Ops 1 came out. Never was a fan of Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is garbage. No, I'm kidding. In a game like that, where it's a game basically every 2 years, if you did the math, technically. One being in a year and a half, maybe, I think, between Season 3 and 4. And, yeah, I experienced what took people 7 years in half a year. And I feel like that was the perfect way it could have been done for me. And I'm glad. I'm glad I went through it all. Good stuff, man. The day I beat that episode, oh god, it was peaceful. It felt peaceful. Conclusion. What is it? Closure. There we go. That's the word I was looking for in my head. That's why I paused. Man, that was nice. Real nice. I'm still waiting for my AJ figurine. I did that pre-order nonsense. I bought the game again to get AJ's little 4-inch figurine. Don't worry, I'll be showing that off when I get it. I better get it. If not, so what? Yeah. And that's really it for the time being. I said I still have lists to go through. There's a lot more words I can share. What is it? Oh yeah. Spoiler warning. At first, I did not think Clementine lived. No, I wasn't accepting it. When I say that, relax, calm down, breathe. I didn't want her to die, obviously, but did you see the way that whole thing played out? She was a goner for sure, right? Okay, reviewing the evidence from the text and everything, I think there's more evidence to where she survived rather than she didn't. Okay, I'm not gonna list them all. I told this to a friend. I'll just word it like this. There's 5 reasons, really. I have to remember them now. Okay, 1. In The Walking Dead, not everyone turns at the same time. 2, or at the same rate. Some can take hours, some can take days. 2, Minerva cutting her leg made that wound and all that blood spilling out of her, being where she got bit, potentially saved her. 3, the way she looked wasn't because of the infection, but because of blood loss. When you're losing blood, you do indeed start to lose color. And it's hard to tell if you can consider what was happening to her losing color or changing color. For example, with Lee, he just straight up turned gray, from black to gray. What do you call that? Color change or loss? I'd say loss, because gray is like a dead color, right? I said like, oh no. Oh, and too. Is one that I really need to work on. Just pause. Don't fill it. Don't fill the void. Silence. 4. Trying to remember 4. 3 was the blood loss, right? Oh yeah, 4 is damn, what was 4? Well, I can tell you 5. 5, and this is more. Oh yeah, the last 2 are in regards to how she survived, but Lee didn't. Yeah, 4 is that she wasn't exhibiting symptoms of the infection. Lee couldn't talk. He could barely muster a whisper. He could hardly breathe. He couldn't move anything. The most he was able to do was able to kick a bat to Clementine in her moment of need, and that probably took so much adrenaline and everything that was already pumping through his lifeless body at this point. Clem, she could still yell, she could still talk, she could still move her arm, she could totally function, she just couldn't stand because of the wound. Maybe the infection too. There was obviously a crap ton of fatigue, but mostly probably from the freaking giant hole in her leg from the axe and all the blood loss. 5, it was never too late. Some diseases / infections like rabies can remain in you but not activate until a certain milestone is hit. For example, when you get a headache from rabies, you're dead. There is no cure for rabies. There's only stalling it. Once you get the headache from rabies, you're finished. Lee, his moment of doom was when he passed out. Do you remember how he even had the option to cut off his arm? He blacked out, fell on the floor, and then woke up to them saying, "Oh, maybe we should cut his arm off." At that point, it was already too late. Clem never did any of that. She never lost consciousness. She was still fully there in the moment, just not at all well equipped to do anything. So yes, that is why Clementine survived and Lee didn't. That's all I really have to say right now. Maybe I should have recorded this at a different time. What's that Dr. Seuss quote? Don't be sad that it's over, but be happy that it, or be glad that it happened. Something like that. Actually, I guess there's a couple more things I could say. It's that series, The Walking Dead game. And I might say things that I already said in that video I made like many moons ago. You know which one it was. Oh, do you like the hair? It's a work in progress. Remember, we're still trying. Right now I have a bit of bedhead. What is it? That game. One thing many of my lads might know about me, maybe not, is that I'm not a very emotional person. The most emotional I get is every time there's family drama. You know, between the parents, typical stuff. That'll get to any kid. But in terms of games, I've never cared. And then this game, there's so much investment. There's so much, there's genuine concern, fear, shock, awe. They're real. They're not faked, you know, you don't fake them to I don't know, appeal to your friends. Well, these are things that this game genuinely has pulled out of me. Genuine sadness, worry that something bad is going to happen to these pixels on my screen, but for some reason they feel like they're so much more than that when in reality they're not. That game has never made me so invested in a game, cared so much for everything about it too, not just the characters in the game, the people behind it, everyone involved. You know, they're so real, man. And I don't think another game is gonna be like that for me. So I'm glad I got it while I had the chance. You know, and now it'll always be there. You know how you can make groups on Xbox for your apps and games? I have a bunch. Of course, the first one is The Walking Dead. So every time I go to click on that to maybe go play Dead by Daylight or something, I have to look at all four of the games looking right at me. Soon to be five. Six actually, because I got Michonne from the Game Pass, and the collection for that 4,000 gamer score coming soon. Yeah. They'll always be there. And it was nice. It was real nice. It'll never be the same as the first time going back and replaying them. And in fact, I do have to replay the final season to make one decision different to get an achievement. Other than that, it's a done deal. Man, this is something I have not told anyone. I'd say in the time between episode 2, before it came out and after it came out, when we were still in the shock and fear. No, this was after it was announced that Walking Dead was saved. Before episode 3 or 4 came out. Dude, I was so worried about Clem that I think on 2 separate occasions I was just in my feelings thinking about everything, and I just cried to myself. Oh, nothing happened. I was just laying there in a situation just like this, with absolutely nothing going on, and I would close my eyes, I was thinking, and then I would just I would feel my nose flare, and just silent weeping. Because I was so nervous for this girl that I loved so much. And she made it. Oh my god. I know it might not have shown when I was playing it, but oh god. Oh, because I didn't believe it. But later, when I realized that she lived, and it was actually her, she wasn't AJ's imaginary friend. Oh my god. Some energy entered me, then it felt amazing. It felt like a cool breeze of air just went through my entire body. Like on a really nice summer day. Oh, God, that felt good because, like I said, on those 2 separate occasions, I was getting so emotional because I was just scared. Because I cared so much for her, man. So much. I've never cared so much for a video game character. Never. Never, never, never. No life. Don't worry. I read your question. I'll integrate it into one of the rankings, because I'm smart like that. Alright? Because it feels weird to then, answer that 20 minutes into this. No one's gonna watch this far anyways. Yes. That is how I'm doing right now. It's over. She made it. Let's go. Vamos. Ah, felt good. Feels good. Still feels good. Subscribe or die, or you get the axe.